I want to also urge the president to pay attention to the informal sector, but the one commonly called juakali. In many places, they work in crowded places, which have now been outlawed. They work for long hours, which is not going to be possible. Some work overnight, which is not going to be possible. And these are people who literally live on hand-to-mouth basis. So we need also to find some fund to cushion these vulnerable groups who feed huge families behind them, because most of them have families who don't work. They have to take their children to school, they have to feed them, they have to clothe them. We must also cushion them as we go along. In the totality of things, the government has so far done a reasonably commendable job in bringing awareness to Kenyans and taking measures that help Kenyans know that this virus is real, this virus is dangerous, this virus kills, and self-quarantine where necessary, or forced quarantine where people are not adhering to directives is absolutely necessary to keep our population safe. I want to take this opportunity to urge Kenyans that care may cause you inconvenience, but that care will save your life, will save your family's lives, will save Kenyans' lives. Thirdly, when Parliament decided to go on recess, I was one of the lone voices that voiced against it. In many jurisdictions, including the UK, where the Minister for Health was only diagnosed positive, but 11 members of Parliament were diagnosed to have been positive, contacted from association with her. They didn't close the House of Commons, because Parliament must be on the front line of supporting the executive in these extraordinary times. During such times, there is a real risk that the well intentions of the president and the generosity that is displaying to Kenyans through this raft of measures and putting at the disposal of the civil servants huge sums of money, it's at such times that people also help themselves on public coffers. We need, in real time, Parliament to be available to do tracking of how this money is going to be spent. The 10 billion to be given to the elderly and vulnerable groups. We don't want to end up 2 years down the line to find that only 5 billion reached the people intended and the rest was pocketed by public servants. You know, corruption is a serious problem in this country.